Cody. Fast forward a little bit. AMC's throwing some hives. Let's spectate him while we get this going. I kind of want to go... He's a mage, right? Pseudo mage, sure. Yeah. Kieran's a mage. Let's get a quick peek. Okay, so he's full level all 3. He's gonna max hives. Preset some hives out, which is huge. Take a look at builds. This AMC looks to be going Bluestone into Jotuns. I'm a little surprised here by not going timeline. Like conduit is insane right now considering it got buffed. I'm good though, man. Just a little tired myself. I am a little surprised. Goons obviously giving up purple buff here, unless the Sobek can actually... Oh, that is incredibly unfortunate. He gets body blocked by the pillar on her and Cullen. A little baited in there, thinking his block would allow him to survive. A really good play here by Gates of Guinee. A nice positioning from them. Making sure the Sobek goes down for first blood and purple goes to Gates of Guinee. A little bit of lead here now. Not even 2 minutes in. I feel like that hinders... The more and more I'm thinking about this... Yes, you can throw a breastplate on this Tia. But I feel like this doesn't look as favorable. I know they buffed Conduit. But when I'm thinking like a Bruiser Mage, I'm thinking alternate timeline breastplate versus going into Conduit, just going that true damage. At that point, I feel like a traditional comp just feels a lot easier to dive without some of that survivability. But who knows, maybe this Tia will throw a breastplate on probably mid. Red is spawning. Colin blink alt into the Charon alt. Did they have the damage? Target was split a little there on her. Shifted his alt to the AMC. No matter. Yet another kill onto this Tia. That engage exceptional. They didn't get a chance to get the red. The Goons did secure red. So a God, i.e. Tiamat, exchanged for the red. More often than not going to be a favorable trade considering that lead's only building. I am curious. Oh. I'm glad I checked. We're leveling to 2. Taking just a quick peek at leveling orders. I guess I'm a little surprised by the leveling order on AMC, electing to go the 2 max over the 1-3-2 or 1-3-4-2. Sobek breaking it down. Already Griffin Wings. So we've seen this slight resurgence. I almost say due to Kershaw propaganda. But Griffin Wing rush here for the on her already has it online, looking for this possible next purple buff. Gets his back stopped. Oh, that's... AMC drops Stinger on the Charon. Charon backstabs just to make sure the AMC isn't able to step forward to grab his Stinger. Charon comes through for the Tia. However, Kakolan does have enough damage, just enough time to get his cooldowns and secure yet another kill for Gates of Guinee that should result in purple and Johnson as well. And I think red spawning shortly, and it will directly after this wave. Gates of Guinee positioning here. You do have first item spikes. Missing, obviously, the full Book of Thoth or tablet for this Tia. Sobek does step up. He is kiting this. I'm a little surprised that Sobek almost could have stolen that red buff, considering the Anher didn't elect to go for the impale. A little 50-50. A good pluck by the Sobek. Tia tries to jump forward. Good pillar for the slow by the Anher, making sure the Tia can't close gap after going into ground stance. We're still looking for this fight. Kukulkan, gotta be a little careful. He is currently a little 3v1. Looks like our Griffin Cowl into Gauntlet here for the Anher. Charon was starting to go into what I would have thought would have been Shogun's, now changed his mind to a possible, possible Pestilence. There's a tablet already online, so Tia looking to grab as much poke as he can to get that stacked as quickly as possible. Charon actually ulting for Johnson. Are they able to close gap? Just Kukulkan able to have enough damage? They do force Sobek alt content, alt for alt on the Guardians. It's a phenomenal dash and a huge Kukulkan ult to make sure he didn't get plucked under tower by the Sobek. It's a little unfortunate timing, and yet another kill and another one for Gates of Guinea. They're actually positioning with a 15-second power play. Looking at this bull, Kukulkan is pulling it. You only have this Griffin Cowl into T1. They do have a fair amount of damage coming out. Sobek is here alone while Tia's clearing midwave. Probably calling out that health bar. Tia's coming in. They don't really out-secure it. Anher jumps. Anher doesn't have ult to out-secure this. Got to be a little conscious of that. He is able to pull it back. Tia forcing the ground stance. AMC's pathing in quickly. Kukulkan has to be a little careful. He dashes straight in. Does he secure the kill? Sobek with a huge pluck to provide some peel there for his mage. Unfortunately going down himself because of it. This double front line is just creating way too much space for this Anher. Securing bull and looking now for T1. It's kind of in dire straits an 8-minute in. Tia doing everything he can, continuing to stack this tablet. Trying to poke them out to make sure they don't feel comfortable looking for anything further. So a T1, a red buff, Johnson, and a kill onto the Sobek to their name post-bull. The purple buff is still up. Anher not yet level 12. I'm assuming he's going to path over that to try to see if he can take over. Colin staying with him. Does hit the level 12. Is going to have second relic now. That is a huge power spike. Should be full first item and second relics for all team. Or, I guess, lacking the Charon. For Kukulkan on her, excuse me. So a talisman for the Charon for the movement. At this point, I guess is 9 minutes in. They have a fair lead. They were able to secure T1. Just farming it up, waiting for a next bull that should be spawning shortly. At least allowing them to get level 14. Possibly yet another item spike for the Anher pre-bull. Would be kind of what the thought process is. There is really no hurry. Tia stepping forward to stop with back. And trying to get tablet stacks. Hi, Cliff. Johnson spawning in. Colin. Oh, Warriors are doing numbers on these DPS. Not having tablet, Soul Reaver, percent pen. It just takes too many items versus a Warrior or Guardian just able to do a quarter your HP with 1 or 2 casts. Been in these player seats all too often, feeling behind, not having the items to really find that trade that they're looking for to get back into this game. Bull is up on her, looking to pull. So on her's on Bull. Charon, Colin feeling comfortable enough to look for a 2v3, forcing double relics out of this AMC. That is a huge fight for them. Both relics. An easy bird push now with Bull to their names. This AMC's not able to step forward on her. And the Gates of Guinea looking for an easy red, possible back, spend that gold, then push. Should be that item spike they're looking for. This is a real rough. You're looking at a full 3 slotted versus a T1 on the other side. There is the breastplate on this Tia, but I genuinely am worried that it's just a little too late. On her, able to step in tower line. AMC not going to be able to really step forward here. Sobek tries to pluck backwards to create any space, but damage already done. Bird secured. AMC trying to stay as far back as possible. Charon doesn't quite have ult to really punish this AMC no relics. He gets the root. Unfortunately, nothing really done. Gates of Guinea looking to put a little bit of poke. Sobek, good pluck in, forces the beads off on her. One more possible pluck on this on her into an AMC Stinger Tia cast could be an answer. Thorns are popped. Gets a big Charon ult, forces beads off Tia. Charon almost goes down, a fair amount of poke. Gates of Guinea did what they came here to do. If they're able to make it out and Goons aren't able to find a chase or a potential kill, Gates of Guinea able to reset and look for an end. This is do or die for the Goons. In this moment, you have to look for a fight outside of Titan Room. You don't have anywhere near the timer for this Bull or Bird to come back up and help your Titan heal, so you got to look for a fight outside. Where do they look to hold their ground pre-Titan? On her was looking for that T2 oboe. Finds it. Gates of Guinea should be able to just push up here with Fire Wave and slowly flood them. Colin with a nice blink ult. Sobek going a little bit into a tail whip. Unable to find the pluck to create some separation. Tia in a really bad spot. Charon doesn't have ult, but do you need it? A big Aegis goes down to Gates of Guinea. Sobek doing his very best to take the Fire Wave away. However, it's not gonna help when all 3 members are on your Titan. Look for an end and a win to game number 1. Are we doing timer? I don't know. It's one of those situations where you start talking about traditional comps. You don't get items, you can't trade. It feels miserable. I've been in this seat, and you get breastplate, you're gonna have percent pen, possible Soul Reaver. By that point, they've already ran you down, have a T1 bird, if not ending the game. A lot more than Fab Duels. Okay, a little bit more. But I appreciate the sub. Both rosters locked in, and a big adjustment here by the Goons, looking for a potential fight back for game number 2 to push it to game number 3. Poisoned. Appreciate the follow. Welcome, welcome to the BBC. It's already looking a lot better. To one of my admins, are they in chat? I guess no one's here. Cosmos is. Got me fucked up. There we go. Alright. Eric, I appreciate it. The King's return. I'm assuming you mean Jesse. Okay. I know you're talking about yourself because you are king. King of my heart anyway. I've turned it out a little legitimate. Yeah, true. True, my fault. My fault. The Soul Smite, appreciate the Prime 5 months. You guys have been oh so amazing. I appreciate all the love and support. I do want to point this out. We have 3 sets tonight. I think 3 sets tomorrow, and then I will stream them on Sunday night. I think we have 4 or 5 sets then. We are only 1.5 average viewers away from being able to at least apply. Obviously, I know that's not guaranteed on anything, but the ability and all the support you guys have given with all of the viewership looking for a possible Twitch partner has been absolutely mind-blowing and an amazing experience. I appreciate it. A big shout out to all of you. So close and yet so far. What a great journey it is. Alright, to the game though. Gates of Guinea up 1-0. The Goons made a roster adjustment or character draft adjustment. Interested to see how that plays out given they gave the Osiris. The Goons able to secure the purple. How does that fight look post? Nugs, how are you, sir? I'm going to be peeking at the leveling order again, mainly to see how this X-Ball levels. That's been a topic of conversation. Typically, a variance in leveling at 1, 2, or 3 in the style of play you're actually looking to be, a little bit more aggressive, passive, etc. Slightly should be just off this purple, not much at all. A little something to the Goon's name. Already ticking to level 5. Kakolin trying to get as much poke as he can. This is a little bit irrelevant. I'm a little worried. We did drop this alt because this is just going to result in just an immediate back looking for preparation for this red. Maybe a little premature. Take it back as 2 members of the Gates of Guinea actually elect to stay. I'm doing well, man. I'm just happy to have you here, man. It's a lot of man in one sentence. Turn on the verbal clutter. Johnson spawning. Red is up. Already pulled. Looking for a possible alt. And it's stolen from Gates of Guinea. How does this fight look? The Goons don't have the ADC here as the ADC went to wave. This Xing Chen in a world of pain, dropping first blood to Gates of Guinea. A little bit of miscommunication as the ADC left after the red buff wasn't secured. Osiris forced to ult away. Is it enough damage? It's not. Now the X-Ball chunking down this Hachi who ulted forward. Are they able to find this kill? And a good Aegis to make sure that last auto didn't actually find that kill. But a possibly unnecessary extension. Dropping ult and relic and not finding it. It's a little unfortunate. Osiris is able to survive. So neutral buff either way. The Goons finding that purple buff by Gates of Guinea able to steal the red and find first blood. Should immediately sway right here off this kill toward Gates of Guinea. Take a quick peek. We're finding indecisiveness. Have to come back to see which one he's going to level. Purple spawning shortly. Would appear to be a 2 maxer. Purple's up. Jing back gets canceled. Should easily result because of that poke with an uncontested purple buff for Gates of Guinea. Taylor, what song did you request earlier, big dog? Was it Enemy? Charon finds the silence into an immediate ult. Is it enough damage? He's forced to ult away. X-Ball just not able to close gap with dash and find that last little bit of damage. Hachi able just to survive with ultimate. X-Ball has to be careful. He is extremely low, and the Goons both have ultimate up. Double horrific to their name, no blink. How does this look? It's 50-50'd. The Goons able to steal it away. It's almost dead even in experience. Gold, more often than not, it's going to be that first blood difference. See if he's stuck to it. He is. How are we doing, Valero? Valerio. Alright, you guys gotta stop with these song requests. Hold on. He's gonna make me pause this game. I'm not doing another one after this. You got me messed up. I'm not doing this all night. Alright, what was it? Enemy. Dude, okay, this one. There you go. It's true. You're a VIP in my heart. I'm definitely not doing that one, Valerio. Trying to troll me with Baby Shark. Double Thieves here for the Goons, looking for, I'm assuming, a double Midgard, possibly. True. Just got a slight flex on me, I get it. Looks like a Glad Shield and what I would assume be a Berserkers for the Osiris. This game is already a lot more stalemated. Looking for a little bit more calculated, I guess, be a better way to put that. Mainly because at this point, you're already looking at Bull T1 and a fair amount of kills. It was 3, if not 4, for Gates of Guinea. Only having the 1 right now. Slowly building the itemization. I'm a little concerned when you start talking about a double Midgard. This dive is going to be rough for this X-Ball to deal with. I'll play in a minute there. You got to tell me in between cues, Big Doug. In between games versus doing it mid-game and I got to pause it. I'm not able to multitask. You know, I'm old. Johnson and Red both up. They're already looking to jockey. I'm not... Kakolin dropping... Alton horrific, immediately Charon ulting back. Red's pulled. Do they have the damage? The Goons able to secure red buff, but how does that fight look? Fortunately, they're poked out in turn. So 1 relic for 2. And a red buff, so a net win there for Goons. You start talking about smaller margins. You're going to take that if it gives you this red buff and at least a relic in your advantage. especially the beads off X-Ball. When you get these double mid-guard online, this push is going to look real healthy. Mystical Mail Midgard? Surely it's not a double mystical, right? And a Phalanx for the Osiris. Not yet second relics. Hachi is level 12, doesn't have second relic yet to his name. Johnson spawning just beside purple. And a couple aggressive wards here by Gates of Genie in preparation if they're able to find a pick. Immediately looking for bull. Colin jumping in. X-Ball doesn't have beats for 80. Has to be really careful. Xing is about to take over an ultimate. Heavenly is dropped by Gates of Genie to get out. Osiris looking for an up-down ult. Does he have the damage to find a pick onto this Hachi? Aegis is used. Hachi doesn't have ult. Does he find it? He does. Another kill to Gates of Genie. However, he's picked back up, thrown under bird, and a good Kukulkan push. He survives? They almost turn a kill back. That is criminal. The double Fizz D putting in absolute work for this Osiris. And incredibly unfortunate for the Goons. Not able to find the return kill. With that much poke on T1, they got to be really conscious about these Johnsons. Gates of Genie have to be a little bit more proactive on those to make sure that Goons aren't able to pick up Johnson and heal that tower back up. Red spawning in shortly. Charon nowhere near this. Should be just a 2v2. Hachi gets here. Should be given up. X-Ball doesn't have beats for 15. Red is able to be secured. Hachi has to be careful. It doesn't have Aegis. And Osiris does have an ult. There's the Johnson. So Johnson purple. Already almost 1,000 gold lead. If Gates of Genie are able to find this T1, could be looking for a bullfight into dropping bird and ending the game. They have the advantage. They are slightly in the driver's seat here. Does look like it's going to be a double mid-guard, though. Most neutral buffs are down. Speed is up for Gates of Genie. I wonder if that's going to result in a possible fight, but over what? Should we just jockeying for possible poke to look for a bull? Next Johnson will be dropping shortly. Good silence. All ults are up, all relics are up. A blink by Kukulkan Osiris. Hachi's nowhere near here. Taking this fight's gonna be a little rough. X-Ball drops speeds there, a little unfortunate. Shouldn't result to much at the moment. Colin does have blink. You got to be conscious of that. Does it really matter, though? They're not able to really step up here. Jing Chen going to be forced to back. Osiris trying to work down this Colin. Getting a little bit of pressure with this wave. This should result in T1 because this Osiris is doing so much that Colin to the background. T1 to the Gates of Genie name and a small break to the gridlock. Jing Chen looking to step in. Xing doesn't have ult. Should be just giving up. So there's Cyrus, Charon do not have beads to their name. Only the CC immune alts. If they drop those, if we get to items for this Hachi, it could turn into a really nice fight. They are looking to be the aggressors here, actually. Off that one back, Charon able to step forward. Charon doesn't have ult, but the X-Ball finding a slight cast onto this Hachi should spell the end of that pull for Gates of Guinea. Because they have that health advantage on the Hachi, they know they can pull this and be a little bit more aggressive. This X-Ball doesn't have any sustain in his kit, so he's not able to just sit there and hold it. Colin looks for a blink. Charon immediately finds a return ult, but X-Ball doesn't have beads. A double throw into the Hachi. Hachi alting forward. A good Aegis by the X-Ball does allow him to survive. It shouldn't. Horrific He survives. That is a little criminal. Unfortunately for the Goons, X-Ball able to get out off the back of an Aegis from the Hachi ult. Horrific, which is slightly late, allowing him to path out. Now X-Ball re-pulls Bull. Eric with the chi. I appreciate you, big dog. It should easily go in favor of Gates of Guinea being uncontested. Now able to look for a little bit of the neutral farm, look for a back, look for the itemization spike. I want to see a Kins here for X-Ball. Gotta be a little careful. He's pathing into 2 and he knows it. Be forced to back up. Osiris now on the pinch, though. Kukulkan doesn't have any mobility. That Tether's going to go for the stun. He does have Midgard, so that movement's going to be really hard for him to chase. Hachi's on red, so getting that is fairly large for them. While he's chasing down the Kukulkan, Hachi able to find the red buff. Doesn't actually get to pick it up because he has speed. They're looking at this Osai over there in the corner. Bull already at half. Good stun. Charon ults forward, getting Aegis off the Hachi. X-Ball does have beads. Doesn't need to use them, though. Using the dash for CC immunity. Kukulkan getting chunked down by this X-Ball. No more ults left to the Gates of Guinea. Hachi with the last one standing with ultimate. We're able to find a kill onto this Osiris, but not able to find a kill into either one. For a possible return, Jing Chen doing his very best to create some of that separation. Gates of Guinea, 1 for a bird. It's not inherently a bad trade. They're going to take it and back off. It's not a big lead considering you have T1 bird to the name. It's a much closer gold XP for the Goons. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Can they find a way back in? Hachi path into speed. I wonder if Gates of Guinea will be looking for the starter spikes. However, you're in the driver's seat with the bird T1, but the level 18 Hachi would say there is a chance, especially considering there is no Midgard here for Gates of Guinea. The Jing Chen, if he's able to get a big ult onto these tanks, this Hachi could potentially shred through it. Now reaching his full 4 items. Had to get off Imagine Dragons before I get flamed. Purple Johnson. I'm assuming they're going to be looking for bull now that this bird's already at half. Instead, X-Ball looking to back. Osiris hovering to make sure the Goons don't immediately look for a response to take bull on backs. I love the staggering backs to make sure they don't drop a bull or get a bull snuck on them. Good Colin getting the back stopped. X-Ball pathing over to bull now. Hachi backing should immediately allow Gates of Guinea to secure this. Jing Chen, however, is jumping in. He's looking to contest. Beads are used heavily. Do they find this answer? Hachi getting in late. A pick onto the Jing Chen. Osiris ulting forward. Getting chunked down by this Hachi. Hachi is full health. They're looking for this good Colin. Osiris trying to blink on. Charon doing his very best to body block that good Colin to make sure he had no way out. Are they able to find a potentially another kill? This is a 30-second power play for Gates of Guinea. Hachi is very healthy, though. Could path in here. Charon going to be calling out that he is. Bull secured. Charon dash forward. This could be a turn kill. Hachi has Exy procced on the Charon. Not willing to jump. Not willing to push that forward. I think it's crazy. 3 level 19s, no level 20 to the Gates of Guinea, and a level 20 Hachi. The disparity here, but allowing his ADC to get to late game, getting that itemization online to at least allow himself to get something in response. Here's that push. X-Ball doesn't have beads. This is you got to be really conscious here. Jing doesn't have blink, but does he need it? If the Jing's able to close gap, get on top of this X-Ball, this could go really rough for Gates of Guinea. Still no beats for 10. Colin blinks forward. The X-Ball got caught by the Jing Chen. 4 seconds on beads and a big pick on the X-Ball. The Hachi is shredding this Charon. A little bit of life here by the Goons. Gets the X-Ball, or the Hachi on the Osiris for that slow. Osiris doing his very best with the tether, but is it going to matter? A big mistake. 4 seconds left off beads for Gates of Guinea. And a window for the Goons in for game number 2. $30 seconds. Do they have it in them? This is a full build Hachi, short of upgraded starter. And quickly shredding through objectives. They have to push quickly. 15 seconds on X-Ball. It's going to be close. 8 seconds. Actually should be GG. Titan going down. 3 seconds. Everything being thrown. And the Goons finding game number 2, pushing this to a game 3. A big mistake by Gates of Guinea. Like you said, Tox, not using that dash for CC immunity. Recognizing your beads are still down for 4 seconds. Getting caught by Jing Channel is just... It's just it. To see how this is piloted, but if they do have that pressure and ability for Fafnir to reclapse backwards, this could turn into a big fight, possibly game-changing for Gates of Guinea. How we doing, Rick? Welcome, welcome. So, one frontliner from each team electing to start blue, giving this AMC Fafnir the ability to take over a 4. We've seen this done a few times by a couple different comps. A double horrific from the Goons, looking to really get on top of this AMC. There's the value of going that splitting 2 people on speed 1 on blue. This could call in level 3, the other 2 level 4. Gives them a little bit of pressure. What does that look like there? Could call in getting reclaps back on. That both horrifics are expended. Double relic on the other side as well. Good dash by Kukulin. Mere frames away from dropping first blood. Should immediately result in purple buff here for the Goons. Cliff, I'm not 100% certain who won EU side of Crater Cup. I know NA side is this weekend. So there's that portion level 5s. Because this purple buff, Medusa Osiris level 5 here. Gates of Genie, you got to be a little careful of that. AMC doing his very best to poke down this Bacchus, make him feel a little uncomfortable. Red spawning shortly. We have a slight advantage in Gates of Genie's favor with this Bacchus poke. Colin looking to wrap. No support relics, so beads for Medusa and AMC. What does this look like in that fight? Colin kind of solo frontline momentarily, but AMC drops Stinger. Able to connect to the Bacchus. They're able to find the kill. It's just not enough. They are able to secure red buff and look for a Johnson. So small win here for Gates of Genie. It definitely wasn't Hazer. No. So a little bit of difference in leveling Goons and they had the MC were leveling the 2 versus the Hives being leveled by Tox. Horrifics are coming up for both teams here. Chesters are spawning. No neutral bumps for a little bit as purple about halfway through its timer. Bacchus was stepping forward to stop Colin's back. Good hammer by Fafnir. Not yet. First item spikes for anybody on either team. And just a 200 gold lead here for Gates of Genie. Chester is up for the Goons. Not yet pulling that 2 lane. Fafnir holding most of his hammers for this Bacchus burp to make sure he's able to cancel that. Johnson is touching ground. Purple is spawning momentarily. The fight being chosen over Johnson. And a decent stun. Fafnir getting turned on, but they're able to stop this Osiris. A nice communication and first blood for Gates of Genie. The CC just a little too much. Didn't give this Osiris the opportunity to ult away. They're trying to catch him. He finds the hammer and Kukulin goes into ult. A nice, yet another kill. So 2, and both of them on this Kukulin. Medusa's got to be a little careful here. The hammer doesn't connect. This Fafnir, I wonder if he's going to try to body block The autos. The damage should come through. A big miss extension or overextension, if you will, by this Kakolin. Red getting stolen. That hammer, dare I say it, just looks like a little bit of the difference. Medusa did get this red. Purple being pulled by the Goons, and I think that should close a fair amount of the lead dropped here. Kill and red. Cyrus doing his very best to continue to stack this cloak. This is game number 3, Fab Duels. Game 1 went to Gates of Guinea. Game 2 went to the Goons on a wonderful Titan defense. So game number 3. I think it's our 4th game 3 of the league. And we're only in week 3. Yeah. Sounds right. I appreciate you, Geller. Hopefully you had a good day at work, big dog. I'm not... Like, looking at itemization, the big spike's obviously going to be this Jotun's 4 AMC, trying to get that cooldown online, or a Glat Shield for this Kakolin. While this Osiris slowly stacking Cloak. There's not much really to play outside of stacking abilities, or stacking items, if you will. Waiting for next red buff. I'm assuming neither team really going to be able to overextend, or there's nothing much to overextend for unless a big misplay while you're waiting for second relics, next item spike, or red. Osiris gets a decent tether. Medusa's on minis. Are they able to really find any value here? Johnson down, red, spawning shortly. Osiris actually ults in to this AMC, drops horrific. AMC was waiting, drops beads, gets a heavenly for the movement speed. This extension is used. Fafnir goes into ult. What target are they going to look to choose? Fafnir jumps in. They don't really have enough damage with this AMC backing to find a possible kill potential. Should just result in a reclamps backwards, getting Johnson. Wave gets forced under. Medusa pathing over to red. Faf trying to get as much poke as he can onto this Bacchus. So all 3 relics, only 2. These are small windows. But the Goons definitely coming on the top. You're trading red buff for an AMC relic. This could allow for another dive. After this horrifics are up, you have about 30 seconds, give or take, to find a small window of opportunity to get on top of this AMC. They got to act quickly and know those timers. Purple, 50-50. Gates of Guinea able to secure the purple. Osiris ults in. Here you go. They don't have horrifics. Tether is down. Does he actually get that gap closed? Good discipline by the AMC just walking away. So an ultimate expended here from the Goons. Not able to close gap without horrific. The Osiris just a little impatient on that extension. So an ult expended. I'm reading that, right? Breastplate or regrowth on the Bacchus. Obviously the heal from his 1, proccing that for potentially more often than not that movement speed, the 20% movement speed. Not what I would have expected for items, but obviously figuring that's going to find the value to close gap or help him with this AMC. I'm a little surprised by that one. I actually wouldn't have minded a wing blade or Midgard wing blade over that, but Obviously, you still get a little value from that movement speed, the 10% cooldown. Colon getting poked down a little bit. Red under 30 seconds to spawn. Trying to jockey for a little bit of poke while this red buff is looking to come down. Gates of Guinea just on the wrong side of most of this poke. Medusa pulls. Osiris gets a nice alt. Bacchus with a stun. This double front. Who picks who? Which DPS is actually able to survive the dive? I don't think either will. Heavily expended by the Kukulkan. Is he able to find that trade? He does. So a 1-for-1. Both ADCs go down. And how does this trade look post-fight? Finding that value after the pick. I'm assuming he's going to go to the Goons because they're the one pulling red and hovering Johnson as well. Fafnir pathing over Kukulkan, just coming out of base. Red does go to the Goons. However, Faf is here with ultimate. I don't really see them finding a ton of value here. They're able to secure the Johnson. Giving up red, gets Johnson. That isn't the most unfortunate thing to watch as the ADCs die. What's that 2v2 look like? So both relics down for both DPSs. Matter of fact, the only relic that is up is this blink here for the Osai. While Bacchus not yet to have second relic. I'm assuming he's going to get it on this back. Goes a blink as well, so double blink, double horrific. Unironically, I wouldn't have minded a Beads Heavenly here to answer this horrific, or at least assist himself. Both teams comfortable. This is even closer than, I guess, game number 1 when you start talking about the margin. This is almost dead even as far as XP, and a 600 gold lead here is extremely small considering you're 13 minutes into the game. Osiris ults forward. You don't have horrifics yet. Those are down for 10. With that ult, maybe a little premature considering they can't close gap. Now they're the ones overextending. Faf goes into ult. Medusa joining a little late. AMC Stinger connects and a big first pick. How does this fight look after? AMC able to pick up Stinger. Heavily expended. Should allow them to get out. Fafnir able to close gap for the Bacchus. Doesn't have anyone kiting after. AMC pushing wave. Looking for T1. Medusa Bacchus forced to back off as Fafnir, just an absolute menace, walking them down. Making sure they have to walk back versus back. Should easily secure T1. Bacchus tries to create some separation off Bird. Osiris is just spawning in. Make sure Bird doesn't go down. Should be a big spike here. So while that was 600, almost an 1100 gold swing there in favor of Gates of Guinea. Red's up. It looks like both teams looking to find... are willing to take this fight. Medusa grabbing minis. Gotta be careful. Start talking about ultimates. Horrifics are up. Medusa gets Blink. Kukulkan. AMC getting pressured back a little bit. Kukulkan can easily solo this. You gotta be conscious of that. Kukulkan able to. A big ult. Blink and yet an ADC pickup while your AMC is happy and healthy. Turn that into a poster. Medusa getting a little caught out with neither relic to her name. Bacchus Osiris hovering. Making sure that bull wasn't pulled. Osiris, Bacchus step in. AMC has both relics. Faf is in ultimate. And a big stun stinger onto the Bacchus. Horrific is with this Osiris. He should be able to pick up this AMC for free. However, he's not. He's able to find the blink. Honey OP for the slow. AMC surviving there is absolutely devastating for the Goons. They find a pick onto this Bacchus. Now a bit of path right back into Bull and pull it again. A relic graveyard, however, here for Goons. Or, excuse me, for Gates of Guinea, while Goons have both relics on this Medusa. Colin is on wave, making sure he has eyes on the entire team of the Goons. And an uncontested bull here for Gates of Guinea. A level 19 Colin is an absolute raid boss. aka Liar, looking to do it all. I'm assuming that's going to result in the Titans here for the AMC on that back. A fairly decent spike, looking for this bird push. Fafnir able to stop Osai back. You got to be conscious. Bacchus does have blink. The Osai doesn't, so you got to be real careful. There's the blink. The AMC doesn't have either relics. This is going to turn to the ADC trade. AMC just goes down. Now, but Deuce is still alive. That's that conversation I talked about when you talk about a double front line. Locking the AMC, yes, it still goes well. It's going to be real unfortunate. Your relics are down. It's almost certain death. Your positioning has to be immaculate. The Colin trying to do his very best to poke down the Goons pre this T1 push. Bacchus flopping in. They are looking to find a pick on the Fafnir. However, he's able to dash away. Osiris taking up majority of the tower. Forced to back out and change target to this Bacchus. Bacchus flops in. Are they able to find that damage on the Colin? AMC still down for 9 seconds. Should spell the end of this push for the Goons, but a little bit of life fighting back after picking the AMC. I'm a little concerned now, though. You start talking about the AMC has relics up, and you don't have relics as far as a double horrific. So this push, while you defended Bull, how does this next fight look? Are you able to find that same kill potential from the Goons coordinating this double dive onto the AMC, or does he survive? Unironically, I wouldn't have minded a Midgard just for the movement speed slow for this AMC, assuming he even bothered to turn an auto you. You just have to find a way to slow him down to close some of that gap. Either that or, like I mentioned a little earlier, a possible wing blade for this dive, making sure that you're able to stay on top of this AMC at all times. So red buff going toward the Goons. Gates of Guinea looking to position or set themselves up for Bull. You got to keep in mind, this could Colin hit starter and AMC nearing that as well. Assuming the call is going to be just wait for this AMC to find starter. Should be able to find it off this wave. Could Colin backing, allowing his FAF AMC to farm this up alone. Doesn't tick over to level 20. How close are you? It's a little unfortunate. The starter spike would be fairly large. Colin positioning like his team is waiting for Bull here. Wave is pushed. I wouldn't mind if this AMC hits 20 off this and looks for a back, assuming he has the gold for it. There's not really a ton of farm. Osiris trying to find a little bit of poke. They don't hit level 20. How close are you? He's nowhere near as far as gold, unfortunately, needing that 1500. And a ward, the ward coverage here by Gates of Guinee. Colin just stopping the back of this Osiris. Osiris actually blinking in off of that Fafnir hammer. AMC finds the stinger. Osiris now the one overextended. Faf finding a big engage, but are they able to close gap? He's in ultimate for a full minute. Could be a possible push here. Instead, the call off. AMC hits level 20. Probably looking for 130 gold or so for that full starter. Get that online and look for a big fight with relics down off of the Goons. They lose a lot of engage here and chase down potential given all these relics are used besides 2. So a fair amount of resources extended by the Goons. When you still have your defensive relics up for this AMC for survivability, red is pulled and secured for the Goons. Put it on this AMC. Bacchus just trying to create some separation with the rest of his team to be able to back up here. Both teams fighting for dear life going into game number 3 to make sure that they're able to secure this set out, given it it's 1-1. This does give me a moment here to talk about Bluestone. There were several conversations around this, or at least I was getting commented on, and I feel like I need to comment on stream. Let me be clear. The rule that's been put in place is no prots for DPS, i.e. flat, like your base protections on an item. Passives or auras aren't part of that, right? Because you start talking about an aura from a support, right? Or your base prots for the characterization, or in this example, your passive on this item is not the base protection built into the item itself. So that does not count technically, and I don't honestly believe Redstone is that OP unless I'm completely proven wrong, just so we're all on the same page. But Bull is pulled here by Gates of Guinee. Osiris wraps around in a stinger missed by the AMC, but does that result in anything? Both relics are expended by the AMC to make sure he's able to kite out. Now the Bacchus is the one turned on to because he's here alone, and a big pick here from Gates of Guinee as Goons just kind of scrap the Bacchus. Are they able to path out? Bull's up. You have a 50-second power play for Gates of Guinee. Fafnir and Kikol and Blinky Ford trying to close some of that gap, making sure the Goons are giving up Bird for free. Is this that push? 30 seconds on Bacchus. Medusa has ult, but Faf still in his. Should have another cast of his abilities. Osiris, Blinky Forward, getting stunned out here. Osiris doesn't have ultimate.